The White House claims this is not about religion, it's about security. President Trump defended the action, saying 40 different countries with Muslim majorities are not included in the order. Protesters, Democratic lawmakers, and some Republicans just don't buy that. For more on this, let's turn to our panel tonight. Scottie Nell Hughes, Republican strategist and spokesperson for the Freedom Vine, joins us, and Ani Osman Zonnefeld, founder and president of Muslims for Progressive Values. Great to have both of you on this evening. Ani, let's start with you. Some of the proponents of this say it's just a 90-day extra security check. That's their take on it. How do you respond to that?
I'm an American first, and I just so happen to be Muslim. I'm all for the safety of America, and I'm all for the security of America. But the problem is this is obviously blatantly an anti-Islam, anti-Muslim based policy. As indicated, that's what he pledged to do during his campaign. I remember the moment when I first heard when President-elect Ben claimed that the first thing he was going to do was have a ban on Muslims entering America for security reasons. If this is really about security, the first thing he would do actually is to revisit our visa waiver policy, which encompasses 50 countries. These are countries, people with passports, EU. They can come in as tourists, for medical reasons, and without a visa, meaning they don't even have to apply for a visa status. This is, if this is really about security, that is the way to go. But it's quite obvious that this isn't. This is all about keeping his promise on the base that he has basically been riding on for his election.
Scottie, I assume you don't agree with that.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't see it as obvious to be such a slant against Muslims and against the religion itself. You know, 325,000 people landed on Friday from internationally from around the world. I imagine there was a large group of that was probably of the Muslim faith and had no issues. 109 of them were detained, less than 1% for a few hours for a little bit more vetting. While I will agree that the rollout of this has been absolutely horrendous, and this is not the way that we should handle policy, and I think that's probably why we have some of the chaos and hysterics. The policy itself is truly about keeping Americans safe, all Americans, including Muslim Americans safe, that have already come over here as refugees, running away from those others that have tried to kill them in their home countries.
But you know, Scottie, I mean, you can say that it's all about keeping America safe, but it has somewhat of a target towards a certain faith, which this country has never done before. Doesn't that concern you?
Well, no, it's not necessarily. There's nowhere mentioned in this against that it is about the Muslim faith. It is about those extremists trying to make sure that those folks who have come in and have unfortunately been radicalized either here or came over to radicalize others have happened here in America. And all we're just making sure, I mean, when you're looking at the majority of national security experts, even during Barack Obama's administration, said that we could not vet Syrian refugees. We don't have enough information on them. It's almost impossible.
Well, that's actually really not true because, which is actually really not true because refugees have to go through a 2-year process, 2 to 3 year process, number one. And number two, actually the radicalism is in the United States. It's not that those that are coming in. It is completely, it's so difficult to get a visa. If you're a single man, even from Malaysia, the government, the U.S. government actually knows how much money you have in the bank account. They have so many personal details in order to enable you to even enter the United States. So this is really
then why aren't you? Then my question is, why don't you take that up with FBI Director Comey, who actually said that we do not have the ability? Take that up with immigration officials. There's been lots that have testified about national security, and 70% of them have been male that have come over here.
When President Trump signed the executive order, he actually, this is against the potential of Islamic terrorism coming to the United States. He actually said that. So it's fine. Be truthful about it.
And ladies, we have to leave it there. Scottie and Ani, thanks so much for being with us tonight. I appreciate it. Very controversial subject, no doubt.